good morning to you. It is I, Tony, live from the home of comic books in Asheville County, Robot Zero Comics, located in beautiful, scenic downtown Geneva, Ohio, right there where routes 534 and 20 intersect. We are on the northwest corner, right off the northwest corner, sandwiched between Honeybee's Restaurants and Alibi Bar and Grill. You will find Robot Zero Comics. As I've just learned that my glasses are crooked, I probably slept in them. Anyways, thank you for joining us, taking the time to listen to me babble about this week's comic books and what's new in pop culture. Last week, we attended Toyhio Patrick, Sean. Good morning, Sean. Patrick, what's up, buddy? We attended Toyhio. Great, fantastic show put on by Rick Fusselman of Time Capsule Toys. Got to see my friends, especially my next-door neighbor, Mike Buck from Boffo Toys. We also got to see a lot of other cool toy store owners, such as Clifton Boggs from Happy Pappy's Action Figure Extravaganza, located in Canton. Ron Gehring of Your Toy Connection in, wait for it, Ravenna, Ohio. Coffee had to spark the synapses. In Ravenna, Ohio, Your Toy Connection. Of course, Time Capsule Toys of Gerard. Greg Bartholomew, the gentleman from All American Cards and Comics. And the list goes on and on of great comic book dealers and friends and vendors that we were able to see. So if I didn't mention you, I do apologize. But it was good seeing everyone. Lots of cool wrestlers. Danhausen, who recently made his AEW debut in Cleveland. His national debut was there. All Ego, Ethan Page of AEW, who's on national TV all the time through AEW. I actually sold him a couple of Star Wars figures. Super nice guy. Talked to him just for a brief moment. Very nice man. Powerhouse Hobbs. And then there was Doc Gallows, a couple of guys I'm not familiar with, but I've heard a lot of good things about. But anyways, I'd like to tell you some good things about the comics I've read this week. It was a smaller week, but lots of cool stuff came out. We've got Thor and Venom came out this week. Hulk as well. Iron Fist #1. Patrick, we got you that Alien #9 variant that we were missing. So we'll get right into it here. So there's Alien #9. We didn't have this variant. Alien #9 came out a couple of weeks ago, and they shorted us this variant cover. Well, we've got it in stock now. And Patrick, it's in your folder, bud. We've got King Conan #3 of, I believe, 6 in the mini-series by Jason Aaron in Marvel Comics. We've got Devil's Reign Superior 4 #2, which is all about Otto Octavius. This is a tie into Devil's Reign. Otto Octavius, Doc Ock, was dying to get into Reed Richards' laboratory to steal what would be a portal to the multiverse, and he brought in different versions of himself. Mainly, he brought in the guys we see on the cover here. Ghost Rider is Doc Ock, Hulk is Doc Ock, and Wolverine is Doc Ock. There may have been one more, and then we have Doc Ock there. Pretty cool cover, like a tribute to Ratfink. There on the variant cover of Devil's Reign Superior 4 #2. We only have that one copy of that. Ben, what's happening, bud? Dr. Ben, local comic creator, Steven Soder, what's up? If you don't know Dr. Ben, check out Thick Comics here on Facebook and out on the internet. I believe he's got a Substack. Dr. Ben, if you want to drop a link to your Substack in the comments, I don't want to butcher it and get it wrong and send everyone to the wrong place, but if you're a comic book lover, definitely check out Dr. Ben's stuff. He's local to Conneaut. Then we have Hulk #4 by Donny Cates and Ryan Otley, and this just continues to get better and weirder, and it's a ton of fun to read every week. Left us on a big cliffhanger. I read this issue really quickly, and then left us on a cliffhanger. It's like, no! So it did its job, got me excited. I really enjoyed reading it this week. And the artwork, again, I keep talking about Ryan Otley's art, and it keeps getting better and better. We find out in this second Bruce Banner's universe that Tony Stark ends up alone. I don't know if he ends up with a fortune, but he ends up alone and dying, like drinking himself to death in this universe that the Hulk is in right now. There is the head of Fin Fang Foom. Here we have an ad for the Absolute Power Corrupts Absolutely, the Immortal X-Men. More great art. Anyways, Hulk decides to take on the Thunderbolt Ross of this new universe he is located in. I'll let you know how it goes. I will say this, the Banner that is in control of the Hulk's body, basically our Banner from 616 universe, jumps into this battle thinking he's just going to clean up, and he does not. He is met with some force he didn't expect. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to let you read it. It was a really good book. The artwork continues to be insane by Ryan Otley, and the story by Donny Cates, equally insane and fun to read. We've got Iron Fist #1. I'm not going to give the spoiler, but I'll give this small hint. There is a new Iron Fist. Danny Rand is very much in this book. I love the editor's notes, and they didn't have an editor's note as to where Danny Rand lost the power of the Iron Fist. So if someone knows that, if you want to drop it in the comments, feel free to. Then we have Marvel Legacy Voices for Black History Month. We've got Amazing Spider-Man #89 with the origin of the Queen Goblin. Pretty cool variant cover there. A little bit of a take of that Eric Larson cover, doing the Horatio, the Hamlet thing where he's holding up the skull of Spider-Man. A little bit there. Not just a. Well, anyways, I'll just leave it at that. We've got Thor 21. Pretty cool reveal at the end of this, a new power that Thor receives in this book. In a good book all along. So, right now it would seem that our hero has been cornered. All of our heroes have been. All of our heroes, they've met their end. This is it for them. It's that part in Toy Story 3 when they're all just sliding to their deaths. They're all holding each other and crying, knowing that they're all going to be melted down. Woody, Jesse, everyone. That's where we're at in this book right now with the God of Hammers. Last issue 21, we had the reveal of who the God of Hammers is. I'm not going to spoil it. Pretty cool storyline here so far. If we don't have all the parts right now, we will have them very soon. We're getting some second prints of issue 20. We sold out of that one, I believe. We're close to selling out of it. I think we sold out. But we will get some more in. You can read the beginning of the story. It's the God of Hammers. It's a 5-part story. This entire run of Thor has been solid. So if you want to start it at the beginning, we can pick you up some trade paperbacks to read as well. Really great story. And then we have in #5 the first appearance of the Kings in Black. It is a group of new symbiotes that have formed a team. Known as, I don't know if it's known in the book as the Kings in Black or if it's just, as us, the reader. That's what they've been dubbed. I have to admit, I forgot to bring home a copy of Venom 5. I'm very angry with myself. I was really looking forward to reading it, and it wasn't there. So I'm going to have to read that today in the store. But I really like what Al Ewing's been doing so far. His use of Dylan Brock and how the symbiote is trying to act as like a father figure. Eddie Brock's symbiote. Dylan refuses to bond to a symbiote whatsoever. I believe that not the Beyond Corporation, it might be the Beyond Corporation, I forget what corporation is after him, has other plans for him to bond him to a symbiote. But Eddie Brock's symbiote, when he was Venom, was left on Earth while Eddie joined the hive of symbiotes, or is way out in space. I don't know where he is right now. He's dead as far as we're concerned. Eddie Brock is no longer. He's out in the ether somewhere, is what we're getting the impression of as we read the book so far. Anyway, that symbiote that Eddie Brock had, the one that made its debut in Amazing Spider-Man 300, is kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi-ing the situation and watching over Dylan and protecting him. Dylan may not know this, but he is there and watching out for him. And then we have X-Men #8 with a cool trading card, 90s trading card variant of X-23. And then we got shorted the X Lives of Wolverine #2. We never received it, but guess what? It is here today. Cool trading card variant there. And then a nice Stormbreakers cover by Iban Coelho. And then we have X Lives #3. So if we even have an X Lives, we've got a couple left of #1. Check it out. So you can get 1, 2, and 3 today. Cool Wolverine stories. These are the X Lives, so it's different. He's also known as Patch. He's known as James Howlett. He's Wolverine. You name it. He's been all over the place. Madripoor, all over the world. So these are stories of those lives. They take place in different times and in different personalities that the many personalities that Wolverine has. So pretty cool idea. X Lives comes out every other week, and then on the off weeks we get X Deaths of Wolverine examining, guess what? Same situation, but dead. But if you like Wolverine, definitely a must-read. You'll want to check it out for sure. Batman, The Night, #2 by Chip Zadarski. This is a 10-part miniseries. We only had a few issues because it's a Batman avalanche right now. Batman and Spider-Man have a ton of books out, more Batman books than Spider-Man books, but there's a lot of quality stuff out there. It's hard. There's a lot. This is one of the things that is shining, in my opinion, is Batman the Night. Takes place very, very early on in his career. The first issue kind of went over his middle school, high school years, while this one's tackling him just out of high school or college. He has gone to France to learn to learn whatever he possibly can, and he doesn't know how to learn it. He went there to take on the world's best fencing person. I'm not sure what the technical term for that is. I want to say warrior. Fencing competition, whatever, the best in the world. In battling with swords. He was taught by him for 2 weeks and then defeated him. And he doesn't know where to go to learn. And he figures out, even though as much as he hates it, he has to learn from criminals. And this, I like Chip Zdarsky. He's kind of giving an origin as to why Batman falls for Catwoman. And that's what I'm going to leave it at. In this issue, that's what I got out of this. And that, he's learning, and that he's come to terms that, he has to learn from criminals, the best criminals, and he's able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Compromise his beliefs, because this criminal is essentially like Robin Hood, robbing from the rich and giving to the poor, also giving to themselves, but, definitely taking away from some terrible, terrible people, and rewarding herself and the poor as well. Then we have Detective Comics number 1053. This is part of a weekly 12-part series called The Tower, also a backup story. House of Gotham is also a continuing story throughout this as well. So there you have it, featuring some of the Rogues, the best of the Rogues gallery, and the Penguin, Harley Quinn, Joker, all in this Batman detective story right now called The Tower. We have The Flash number 779. Tom Taylor's critically acclaimed Nightwing number 89. Really cool cover. Definitely captured my heart. Eating some pizza on a steel girder up in a construction site. We've got Nubia and the Amazons number 5 of 6. Suicide Squad King Shark number 6. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, number 8 of 8 by Tom King. Wonder Woman, number 784. Oh, and I have to catch up with this. The first issue was awesome. Based on George Orwell's Animal Farm, we have A Blaze's Animal Castle by Xavier Dorison and Felix Delep. I'm not sure the pronunciation of those names. I apologize. We have Athena the Undying, number 1. Grim Universe, The Black Knight, one-shot. We have Cloaked, Mike Richardson, by Mike Richardson. Mike Richardson owns Dark Horse Comics. I believe he's the publisher and owner of Dark Horse. Either way, this is a Batman story through and through that just did not get published over at DC, and it's pretty cool. I can see why DC maybe wouldn't publish this. I don't know if he pitched it to him and they told him no or what, but it's definitely a Batman story. I can't tell you it's not, and if anyone tells you it's not, they're crazy. But it's a character on the cover here known as the Sentinel. That's basically his boy wonder. But he is not a good person, and we're finding that out issue by issue. An ex-cop who's turned private detective has been hired to investigate who is the Sentinel, and why does it seem like the people that are finding more out about him are the ones to die. Everyone he interviews asking about the Sentinel ends up dead. And there's in this issue, in issue 3, there's definitely a character that is the Joker, known as the Lunatic, housed in an asylum. He's escaped many, many times. has a laugh very similar to the Joker, has makeup similar to the Joker. And you find out that he was never a bad guy. All of his crimes that he commits, like he went into a bank and said he was going to rob it. He never took anything, but it was to bring the Sentinel out because he knows the Sentinel's true identity. He knows what the Sentinel is capable of. And we find that out in this issue, and it is gruesome and terrible. And I hope they find out who the Sentinel is soon so they can lock him up because he is not a good person at all. Then we have Freak Show Kingdom by Second Sight. Pretty cool cover there as well. And then we have G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Saturday Morning Adventures. This is a 4-issue miniseries. And it's got a premise, to me, that would have been straight out of the Saturday morning cartoon. We also have the B cover right there with, and that actually lays out the premise very well. Cobra Commander has sent Zartan and the Dreadnoks out on a mission to retrieve a statue. And they're all making fun of him, Destro, the Baroness, Dreadnok, Zartan. They're all making fun of him because the statue is totally ugly. And, of course, Cobra Commander reminds us, you fools, that he wasn't there for the statue. He wanted what was inside the statue. And what was inside the statue? It was Aladdin's lamp. Yes, it was Aladdin's lamp, and he summons a genie. Which is just so bonkers and wild. It just reminds me of what the Cobra Commander would do that. He would go after Aladdin's lamp, and then, the genie comes out, of course, and he wishes for something that is totally ridiculous. And the genie reminds him, these are the rules, you can't do that. So then he asks for giant bats. And I can't remember the acronym for bats, but it's, they're basically, android soldiers, not even android, they're just robot soldiers. And for giant ones, they're almost like Sentinels in X-Men. And the bats were really cool robots. There's some new classified figures of them out right now, but this is a bat. And when I was younger, they had a lenticular sticker on their chest that would kind of, show their levels changing and lights turning on and off. It was one of the coolest toys ever, still is, and the new G.I. Joe classified toy is super cool. Here we have the genie coming out. But the best part of this book, the very, very best, is they stuck to the Saturday morning cartoon, and they have a lesson at the end. And here you have a young man. You want to pause this frame by frame and read this after the video. He's reading the comic book, and he's like, this isn't what I wanted to happen. The people who made this are stupid. And here comes Mainframe, who was the computer expert in G.I. Joe, and the young man's like, and I'm going to tell everyone how stupid they are. He's about to jump on the internet to let everyone know how terrible this comic book he just read was. Mainframe shows up and says, maybe that's not a good idea. And knowing's half the battle. Then you got to read this. It's only 4 issues. And I love it. Whatever. You got to read it. If you have that kind of sense of humor, if you have that kind of nostalgia for G.I. Joe, pick this up. It's only 4 issues, and the humor is pretty great so far. So I really, really enjoyed that. From the crazy Cobra Commander summoning a genie and wishing to the end. Oh, just chef's kiss. Completely ridiculous. Then we have Zenoscope's Grim Spotlight on Gretel. We had a Black Knight earlier. And then we have Second Sight, The Last Days of Us Forsaken, number 1. We have Nick's number 4 from Dynamite. Power Rangers, number 16. Primordial, number 6. I believe this is number 6. This is the end of the miniseries. Sonya, Black, White, and Red, number 7. Yeah, number 7. King Spawn, number 7 as well. And then 2 more of my, I didn't have room for a lot of my picks of the week. G.I. Joe's up there. Cloaked is up there. Hulk is there. Venom. Iron Fist was a lot of fun too. Then we have Quad and Until My Knuckles Bleed from Behemoth Comics. And Dr. Ben, if you're still there, you're going to want to look up Until My Knuckles Bleed. I think you dig this book. That was my favorite of the 2. So this one on the left, Quad, we have this young lady and her cat. There's a spoiler about the cat. I don't want to reveal. It was pretty cool. But there were solar storms, killed most everything electrical and mechanical. Not everything, almost. And this young lady is a mechanic. She can fix these things and bring them back up. And those services are very much needed in this world. And parts are not easy to come by. There are mutants, mutants like Toxic Avenger type of mutants. So she has to go into power plants, all these dangerous remote areas, almost like Ray from she's a scavenger, and she can use the parts she finds either to sell or to for her to fix things and help people as well. It looks like it's got a type of family relationship with her father that's not very good. But the big part is the cat is awesome. And you just learn about this world in this first issue. It's a lot of laying out. It's all done by Eduardo Shaw. Art, I really enjoy art and writing done by one person. They're putting their heart into it. It's their life's work. And I definitely got that here. Enjoyed reading it. But on the right, we have Until My Knuckles Bleed, which definitely borrows from the 90s comic book era. And that's what it's kind of about. You have this guy in the front. He was known as the Damager in the 90s. He looks a lot like Cable. And they even throw it out there. He's like, the 90s. It was the best of times. It was the most extreme of times. And that's what the 90s were in comics. Extreme Studios at Image. We had someone that looks like Cable, a lady that looks like Prophet, but they were a team. She was the Avenger. He was the Damager. They had friends, but now they're old. His ex-wife is depressed. It's definitely an adult book. It's definitely an examination of the superheroes of the 90s, and all the excess of the 90s, real and fictional. So pretty cool stuff. Definitely has a noir or pulp vibe to it. I really enjoyed the art and the inks and the colors. It all fit really, really well. Definitely not one for kids to read, but and they even tackle that kind of thing too. He goes to comic book conventions, signing autographs and stuff. He's a very good guy. The Damager on the cover is one of the most honorable and best heroes that you'll meet. And you can tell just by reading this first issue. So really cool stuff. Vampiverse issue number 6 from Dynamite. What's the Furthest Place from Here? Matthew Rosenberg's independent book from Image Comics. That's been a lot of fun to read. And our heroes are about to face their biggest challenge yet. They've gone to the carnival, and they're going to be facing judgment for some of the things that they may or may not have done. We've got a follow-up to The Princess Who Saved Herself. We have The Princess Who Saved Her Friends. Sweet Paprika Volume 1 is in. We've got Moon Girl, Marvel vs. Moon Girl. If you ever wanted to learn about Moon Girl, who she is and what she does, she is the smartest person in the Marvel Universe. I believe she is. We might have to look that one up. I believe Luna, I can't remember her last name, but her first name is Luna. I believe she is the smartest person in the Marvel Universe. Anyways, that's just one of many things as to who Moon Girl is. Find out what she's been up to and what she's all about in Marvel vs. Moon Girl. Then we have Tom King's Joker War Saga trade paperback and the story of Isaiah Bradley. If you watched Captain America and Captain America and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, they touch on Isaiah Bradley for a few episodes. We got to meet Isaiah Bradley. He was one of the first super soldiers. The United States government experimented on a bunch of black soldiers. They gave them the super soldier serum, and Isaiah Bradley was one of the only ones to survive it and use it for the intended use. This is his story, 7 issues. Really cool cover by Joe Quesada. And I believe this was the direct market only for comic shops cover here. This is I think this is the cover to number 1, Isaiah Bradley's first appearance. Also, Moon Knight's coming here very soon. We have the Moon Knight Epic Collection. What does this collect here exactly? Moon Knight 24 to 38, and probably a few more here. But we have that as well. The Moon Knight show starts here very soon at the end of March. Sorry, whoever's calling, I'm not going to be answering there for a minute. We have Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling 2 manga this week. 2.5, Dimensional Seduction. We have the 1 in 10 G.I. Joe A Saturday Morning Adventures. 1 in 10 Power Rangers 16 and one per store Power Rangers 16. And yeah. Oh, and then this was a great Tom Taylor Batman detective story. Well, it's called Batman the Detective. Had a Frank Miller vibe to the artwork. I enjoyed the first few issues. I did not get to complete it. So much to read, but great artwork by Andy Kubert. And Tom Taylor, man, he's amazing. We have on the left there, this was a special thing we received last week. We only have one left. It is Monkey Prince #1. We covered that. Watch my video from last week to find out what that is. Anyways, it's New Comic Book Day. No matter where you're at, make sure to visit your local comic shop. It's the best place to be on a Wednesday. I'm kind of sad that we don't have Boba Fett anymore, but we have Moon Knight to look forward to blow our minds. Anyways, thank you for watching, listening to me babble on. I'll see you all very soon, and I'm going to get the doors open and the store ready. Have a good day, and no matter where you are, visit your local comic shop.